Let me throw this trivia at you. Do you know what the Risky Biscuit Hayseed Hoot is?
I'll have to admit, I do not know, Breen. What is it?
It is a regional radio show. It's all about bluegrass, cowboys, and folklore. And you know what? The man behind it lives so close, we had to go up and meet him. His name is Dondo Daru. And he has been collecting Americana music and sharing it with fans all across the West for more than 30 years.
Howdy, this is Wiley of Wiley in the Wild West, here to remind you that while the Risky Biscuit Hayseed Hoot is a mood-altering
This is Dondo Daru, the face of the voice of the Risky Biscuit Hayseed Hoot.
Common side effects include, but are not limited to, uncontrolled head bobbing, toe tapping, finger snapping, selective hearing impairment, yodeling, and persistent melody flashbacks. Ask your doctor if the hoot is right for you.
For more than 30 years, Dondo has been behind a mic every week with a unique offering of what he describes as free-range Americana.
But a lot of times that doesn't register. So I tell them it's bluegrass and folk and cowboy music and kind of old-time country, a lot of farm animal noises and subliminal messages, all kind of mixed in together.
He works from a private collection of 6,000 CDs that offer songs spanning the gamut of topics he takes on.
How do you even know what's on all these? Like when you sit down and say, I think I'll do a whole thing on beer. How do you know where all the beer songs are?
Now it's online, at least in my computer. But I used to have notebooks full of beer songs. And when I came across one, I would write it down, or dog songs, or boat songs, or whatever it is, and try to keep track of it.
So some of it is definitely memory, and the rest is just fun.
So there's a lot of sitting around listening, but I don't mind that. I actually love this music. I love doing this show, and I still do. It's been 32 years, and I sit in here every week and put it together, and it's still fun for me.
You can find Hoot Radio online and on 10 stations around the West, but it's still more of a beloved hobby for him than a full-time job.
Oh yeah, I've always had 2, sometimes 3 jobs.
And mostly in radio though, right?
Mostly in radio, working for other radio stations. I keep trying to think about how I can make this a full-time living after 32 years. And the royalties are the biggest hurdle to that, just because it's so expensive.
The stations that carry his show pay royalties that cover the shows there, but he has to pay for what goes on his website. It's the price of following his passion.
The thing I really love about this medium is the ability to tell stories and connect, and I like the whole theater of the mind thing, whether you're taking somebody on a journey musically, where you're telling a story, and I like being present with it. HootRadio.net.
For the first 8 years, this show was live. Since then, it's been pre-recorded live to tape.
I try to establish kind of a feel and a flow, and most of the time it works, but every once in a while there's a train wreck. I've done it long enough now I can spot them coming. But I try to really tell a story throughout the show, especially if it's a theme show. And I like telling stories, whether it's sitting around a campfire or sitting behind a microphone. I just try to talk to one person while I'm doing this. I don't think of it as, I don't know how many people listen, at one time, but I don't think of it that way. I think of it as I'm doing a show for friends in my living room. Howdy, boys and berries. It's time to gather round for the Risky Biscuit Hayseed Hoot. I've done it from Reno. I've done it from Chester, California. I've done it from Montana. Reno again. Now I'm doing it here in Truckee, and we're moving to Quincy. So the location changes, but hopefully the feel doesn't change.
So, Breen, how do you listen in?
I am glad you asked me that.
Here in Northern Nevada, you can hear the Hoot at 6 p.m. Saturday nights on KUNR. And you can find the Risky Biscuit Hayseed Hoot on hootradio.net. We've got a link all set up for you on our website at agingandawesome.com.